What up, traders? What up, investors? Ken here from Dyslexia Investor, and thank you for tuning in for another fantastic video. We're going to be talking about an EV SPAC here. Again, you're probably thinking, oh no, here he's going to come about CCIV. Oh, he's going to be talking about NIO. No, we're going to be talking about NGA. This thing has really taken off over the last, basically last week, with the news of the announcement of it being merged. That acquisition, NGA, is going with Lion Electric, which is like a Canadian-based manufacturer for buses and like delivery trucks. We'll be looking at some of the photos and some of the mock-ups. This is a realistic company. This is not like, one that had to push one down the hill. With that being said, and being fully understandable and reasonable about it, is like this thing has just gotten so much hype. Once we go to the chart, we can really see some of those deviation levels and the very large spreads that we're seeing come off some of the moving averages. And really just what's all the fuss about it? Like, is it that fantastic? Is it like these groundbreaking metrics and things like that? So I think it's like it could be a potential short-term hype train, but in the long tail of things, this definitely could be a fairly promising company really diving into a market which is somewhat underserved, and of course has a very critical role here really around the world for transporting people from one place to another, and of course our kids from one place to another. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in here. We're going to be talking again about Lion Electric. Again, this is the SPAC company with its valuation and its IPO plans. As you can see here, it kind of like looks at some of the products that they have. They have, of course, the school buses. Again, that's really what a lot of folks are potentially looking at. And they're, again, these are currently in operations. It's not like these are just willy-nilly mock-ups of these. They're not photoshopped kind of pictures. Of course, they have their chassis can support different things. They can do like the delivery truck, and then they also can support some kind of like trash compactor, aka garbage truck. With that being said, this is kind of how their overall system sets up. Their main chassis, their main frame, and then whatever components can step on top of that from that level. Again, they're not making these super long buses. I think they're starting with the short buses first, from what I read here. And at the same time, this is the thing that people are getting pretty hyped about. Amazon has invested in it, and they have I don't know if it's like a purchase agreement, but if Amazon does decide to buy from them, they can buy up to 500 trucks with Amazon to the year of 2025. And Amazon likes the trucks and places orders of 500 trucks each year. That could be a significant deal to start up the company, really, again, getting cash in their pockets if they have a large consumer being, aka their Amazon, a huge customer, giving them cash. And of course, that really just makes it somewhat credible of people like, oh, wait, Amazon's going into this? This is like a next level kind of very move higher. With that being said, this is not just, I think a lot of people are focused on this particular Amazon deal, which is all great and dandy, but I think we need to zoom out what we're really looking at here. We're looking at folks that this company is from the north, aka Canada, and they're coming down to buy land here in the United States and build a plant and really manufacture and streamline their system here in the United States. Of course, since President-elect Joe Biden will be becoming our president on Wednesday, on our inauguration day, there is a lot of movement with the Clean Energy Act, and really an emphasis on these EVs really being the new standing point on driving the future forth. So on top of just like solar, wind, and everything, and his Biden's plan of creating like 35,000 charging stations by 2030, and then having most of our buses or school buses, the yellow buses that pick up the kids, he wants to have like be fully off diesel and basically ICE motors for school buses. So it's going to be also something definitely interested to look at that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look at the options tree as well. So there hasn't been too many large orders on the options tree, but there was a pretty large call buying this week here, especially going out into March, the $40 call. This again is a little bit of a bullish bet because the stock closed at around 33 and a half. So we're looking for a potential kick higher here. And as well, drinking my favorite water, Kirkland water. Hopefully Costco can sponsor me soon. Anywho, with that, that going forth, so if we do a duplicate of this order, hit confirm and send, they're paid around, was it $425,000 for this particular play. This is not little chump change here. That is a little bit of a cheddar in that bag here. Definitely we'll see on how this can go higher. So if we switch over to Tastyworks, again, this is the platform that I use for trading stocks, options, and futures. There's an affiliate link down below. If you sign up and create an account of $2,000 or more, you get an option between adding 10 call options, or you have an options to get 100 shares into your portfolio if you deposit that $2,000 amount for a new account. So this is the trading platform that I love and use. So if you're interested, check out the link in the description. So going into the March expiration, March 19th, 2021, again, since it's a newer IPO and just like the SPAC, there's not really much going to be volume going into this. And you can really see the outlier here around that volume coming in on Friday. Again, a lot of options volume going here. We can kind of open up these other spreads here. And a lot of the other prices have just been added because, again, the December expiration has just been added because you can see there hasn't been any open interest. They just had a lot of volume kind of kicking in there. And at the same time, a lot of people buying the 35s all the way out in the, was it June, in April as well, the 35s. Again, this doesn't mean that they're buying it or selling it. It just means there's a lot of open interest, so there is a catalyst for a potentially move. This is just one part of the overall spectrum of the movement here. So looking at this one in particular, so again, you can see here the spread's super wide. Like this is 60 cents. We'll see when the market opens if that spread really keeps in around that range here. If we do get a bounce higher or lower here. But again, if we just wanted to mimic this, again, they bought 900 of those. So if you close them at the exact close on Friday and you got the mid price, yes, it's about a $460,000 play. That's pretty steep. And at the same time, we have the theta of nearly $5,000 a day in theta. Again, these options are about 60 days out, so that theta is not as aggressive as it would be. For example, if we did the same thing on the $40 calls expiring in February, we did 900 to kind of show the example of this. It's nearly $1,000 more. So it's about an increase about what was that 20% of theta, because again, it's shorter wait. It's 32 days compared to 60 days. So very aggressive action. There is, again, a lot of volume coming in even in these February options here as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump over to the charts. So the charts here is really going to be a rocket ship. Like this is a crazy move. You can really see that FOMO kick in again. Once that announcement came out way back, I know it seems insane, of the SPAC stuff in Thanksgiving timeframe last year at the end of November, had a huge volume kick up, okay? And then like next to nothing, really just kind of just choppy, held that 21 EMA like a perfect chart it is. And same with the parabolic SAR dots. The parabolic SAR dots have not gone above the ticks or above the candles since really that kind of movement here. Again, starting into the first week of December, it has just been continued holding this base here and riding up the 21 EMA, really not even closing below the 8 EMA, which is the purple line here on the charts, and just continue to grind higher. Very difficult to potentially see where the ceiling could be because we really haven't got any kind of pullback whatsoever. We can do potentially try to figure out some potential moves here. Whoops, I did the wrong one. On the short-term side, like this is not going to be too much we can be looking at. We could be potentially looking for 36, even $50. It's going to be potentially some targets, but again, I don't want to be too sensitive to those numbers due to the fact that it really hasn't seen much of a pullback to really show the full Fibonacci retracements on that side. In that being said, what we talked about initially, like on how far it has moved from the 8 EMA. It's nearly closed, nearly, what is that? 21% away from the 8 EMA. That's pretty extreme here. As you can see here, also on the RSI, it is overbought, signaling that red here above 80, and the volume zone also has also come off. So if we get any kind of pullback with this, which again, stocks do pull back, stocks just are not just rocket ships and they go higher until infinity. We're definitely going to be looking for some short-term support around 30 and even 27 in the short-term support. But significant support to the downside would be around the 21 EMA, which is currently around $22, even back down to $20 if we get any kind of very steep pullback for whatever reasons. Again, a lot of hype, a lot of folks being a little bit nostalgic about this. I'm just trying to get ahead of the curve, but this thing has run quite a bit here. Not saying it can't go higher, but definitely something we need to be very well aware of, and seeing in being mindful of the large move that we've seen in place. Especially, we could potentially get a pullback, but if you really do believe in the company, you'll be an investor for the long haul. That being said, I was able to pick up a couple shares here around that $22 price target here, right when I went into $19 to $20. Picked up a couple shares there, and it has been a very nice mover. But again, this is in my longer term account, so I'm being very mindful of the ride going higher. Again, I like the story. It's substantially could be hindered by some folks really riding this up too fast and really getting a steep pullback. So be careful out there for this one. Again, guys, if you have any comments, questions, please leave it down below. And again, thank you so much for stopping by. Please don't forget to like and subscribe out the door, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.